Alright, good morning everyone. So we will start with our class today. So before we start with the next subtopic, that is the chemical properties of acid and alkali, we will quickly discuss our homework last class. Can you open your module as well? Open your module, page 139. We will quickly go through the exercise and then we will get into our topic for today, lesson for today. Are you guys ready? Ready tak? Okay. So, question exercise 13. The question asks you to explain why the two acids have different pH value although their concentration is the same. Okay, this one we already discussed it last class. I've already gave you the 5 points that you should include in your answer, and quickly we will just go through it. Okay, the first one you have to tell that the hydrochloric acid is a strong acid. Good, strong acid, while ethanoic acid is a weak acid. Okay, good. This is 1 point. 1 point. Second one, you will say, okay, then you will have to define what is strong acid. So if you say that hydrochloric acid is a strong acid, then hydrochloric acid will ionize completely. Yes, the word complete. Good, the words completely is very important. Completely in water to produce ni apa? To produce what ion? Yes, hydrogen ions. Okay, because we are talking about acid. So this is the second point. The third point, okay, after we talk about hydrochloric acid, we have to talk about ethanoic acid. So ethanoic acid, when you say ethanoic acid is a weak acid, so what is that mean? Weak acid. Good, ionized partially. Tengok perkataan-perkataan yang awak kena tahu pun tak adalah sesusah mana pun. Water to produce benda yang sama lah. To produce hydrogen ion, because we are still talking about acid. So this is the third point. The fourth point, okay, now we will talk about the differences, because one part ionized partially, the other acid ionized completely, so they will have difference in their concentration of hydrogen ion. So concentration of hydrogen ion in which acid is higher? Good, in hydrochloric acid is higher than ethanoic acid. Good. And then the last point, this is the fourth point, and then the last point would be the higher the concentration of hydrogen ion, the pH value? The lower the pH value. Good. Okay, so 5 points there. Senang saja. Senang je untuk kita cater this kind of question. So you should be able to get 5 marks. Okay, 5 out of 5 for this question. So the next one is the same thing. Okay. Yes. So it is the same thing, but yeah. But this time we are going to talk about alkali. Explain why the two alkali have different pH value although their concentration is the same. It is the same thing. Okay, the point number 1 would be, you are talking about which one is strong alkali, which one is weak alkali. Oh, good. Yes, the sodium hydroxide solution is a strong alkali, while ammonia is weak alkali. First point, senang. Second one, we talk about what is the meaning of strong alkali. So sodium hydroxide will ionize what? Good. Completely in water. Ingat sentiasa tulis in water. In water to produce what? Okay, we're talking about alkali. So what ions should we talk? Good. Hydroxide ion to produce hydroxide ion, OH minus. The next one we talk about ammonia. Ammonia will ionize. Good. Partially in water. Sama juga to produce hydroxide ion. And then we talk about the concentration of. Yes, good. Kita akan cakap pasal hydroxide ion because we are talking about alkali. Okay, so this is just the difference between alkali and acid. Hydroxide ion in which alkali?
Sodium hydroxide.
Yes, inside hydroxide is higher than in ammonia. Good. And then we talk about the relationship. So the higher the hydroxide ion, the what? The pH value. Good. The higher the pH value. Good. So you should be able to get 5 marks for this one as well. Okay. Next one. Okay, this is question 15. I didn't ask you to do this one, right? Okay, so you haven't done this one yet, right?
Yes.
But we can still answer this question quickly. Okay, boleh? Boleh?
Boleh.
Okay, good. So what is the meaning of acid? Like I said, we should have these four apa nama? Condition. Apa empat syarat untuk jadi acid. Yang pertama, hello, yang pertama.
Chemical substance.
Good, chemical substance. Okay, itu syarat yang pertama. That. Ini syarat yang pertama.
Ionized ions.
Good, ionize. In. Okay, syarat yang ketiga. In water to produce.
Hydrogen ion.
Syarat keempat to produce hydrogen ion. See, senang. Dapat 1 markah. Boleh? Boleh? Okay, good.
Boleh.
So, table 15 shows the concentrations and pH values of 3 solutions. Dia tak bagi tahu pun acid or alkali. So, we have to identify first. We have to analyze the table given. So, solution P, the concentration is 0.1. So, every solution have the same concentration but different pH value. So, solution P has pH value 14. So, what does this tell you about solution P? Solution P is a alkali. Good. How about solution Q? Solution Q, neutral. Solution R, acid. Solution S, acid as well. Okay, now question B asks you to name one example of solution P. So we already know that solution P is an alkali, so you just have to write down one example of alkali solution that you know. Can you name one? Can you name one alkali solution that you know?
Sodium hydroxide.
Good, sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide solution. So if the question asks you to name, so you need to write down the name completely. You cannot write down this one. If you give this answer, it is wrong. Okay, because this is chemical formula. You should write down the full name. Sodium hydroxide. Okay, then only you will get 1 mark. Okay, next one. Suggest which solution possibly can be sodium chloride. Okay, which solution yang boleh jadi sodium chloride? Sodium chloride ni apa? Do you know what sodium chloride is? Do you know what sodium chloride is? We all have sodium chloride in our home. Yes, sodium chloride is garam. So garam, is garam acid, alkali or neutral? See, siapa pernah rasa air garam? Masin kan? Awak rasa sour ke dekat air garam? Ada rasa masam dekat dalam air garam? Tak ada. So dia bukanlah acid. Okay, awak ada rasa bitter dekat air garam? No, so it is not an alkali. So it is neutral. So which solution is neutral?
Q.
Q. So the answer is Q. Sabar jap. Sodium chloride, yes. Okay. Next, D. Explain why the pH value of solution S is lower than solution R. Okay, S and R. So this is just the same as yang ni. This one, because solution S and solution R is acid. So cuma at this time you don't have to write down. You cannot just copy this one. Tak bolehlah tulis hydrochloric acid dengan ethanoic acid. You have to use S and P solution. Faham tak? Untuk jawab soalan tadi, 5 marks. Hello, faham tak? So use the name R and S, solution R and solution S. So if we go it quickly, which solution is a strong acid?
S.
Good. So S solution is a strong acid while R solution is a weak acid. So yang pertama. Yang kedua, S solution ionized. Good. Completely in water to produce hydrogen ion. Okay, next one. Solution R ionized. Partially in water to produce hydrogen ion as well. Okay, untuk soalan ini, D ni, they only give you 3 marks, right? Okay, so the first one tu dia tak ambil, the strong acid and weak acid, and cuma dia gabungkan point number 4 with point number 2 and 3. Okay, sebab tu dia bagi tahu terus solution S ionized completely in water to produce higher concentration of hydrogen ion. Solution R ionized partially in water to produce lower concentration of hydrogen ion. Nampak tak, dia gabungkan terus point number 4. Sebab tu dia 3 marks sahaja. Okay, and then the last point, the higher the concentration of hydrogen ion, the lower the pH value. So that's why it only get 3 marks. Okay, so we are going to into our lesson for today. It is the chemical properties of acid. Okay, in this subtopic you have to know. Okay, so for this subtopic you have to know the 3 chemical properties of acid. Okay, and then generally how to do the experiment, and then you also have to know how to write the chemical equation for the reactions. Tu sahaja, 3 tu sahaja yang awak kena tahu. Alright, so can we start with our lesson? Good. It will be more helpful for you guys to understand what I am talking about if you have your textbook in front of you as well. Your textbook and your module in front of you as well. Okay. because I will be referring to those two besides the slides that I've shown to you in the Google Meet. Okay, so our lesson for today is the chemical properties. Okay, notice the word chemical properties. Okay, kalau sebelum ni kita tanya, okay, if let's say I ask you before, how do you know that one solution is an acid? What is the properties of acid? Sebelum ni yang awak belajar. What is the properties of acid before yang awak dah belajar sebelum ni? Hello? Okay, corrosive. Lagi? Okay, sour taste. Lagi?
less than 7.
Okay, pH less than 7. Okay, this is basically properties that you have learned about acid, right? Cuma, this is all the physical properties. Physical properties of acid. Okay, today we are going to learn about chemical properties of acid. So, chemical properties of acid is basically acid punya reaction. Acid's reaction, or acid can react with what? To produce what? Okay, so chemical properties we have to know dia boleh react dengan siapa and to produce what. Okay, dan produce apa. So, itu adalah chemical properties. Other than that, it is all physical properties. So, if question asks you name the chemical properties of acid and then you say corrosive or you say sour taste, it is wrong because that is all physical properties. Chemical properties must have two things. Okay, yang pertama, what can it react with and what is the product. You have to know two things for chemical properties. Is it clear? The differences between chemical and physical properties, clear or not? Okay, good. Alright, next. The next one. Okay. Okay. Alright. So, today we are going to learn about chemical properties of acid first. And basically, chemical properties of acid only have 3 sahaja. So, you have to know acid boleh react dengan siapa and produce apa. 3 sahaja. So, the first one is acid can react with base. Acid can react with base. And what are the product? The product would be salt and water. This is the thing that you should know. Acid can react with base and it will produce salt and water. For example, hydrochloric acid can react with sodium hydroxide. So, sodium hydroxide is a base. And what will you got? You will get sodium chloride and water. So, salt ni ada name dia. How can you know the name of the salt? It is depends on the acid and base. Depends on the name of acid and base. So, if you react hydrochloric acid and sodium hydroxide, you will get sodium chloride and water. Okay, this is the chemical equation. Notice that we have hydrochloric acid and sodium hydroxide. Okay, how can you write down the chemical equation? Okay, we have learned this before as well. But the easy way is you just change the partner. Okay, we know that hydrochloric acid will ionize into hydrogen ion and chloride ion, right? While sodium hydroxide will ionize into sodium ion and hydroxide ion. So how can you know the chemical formula for the salt? You just change the partner. What does I mean by the change the partner? So H ni dia akan kawan dengan positif ni ditukar partner, negatif yang ni pula. Okay, another positive that we have is sodium positive, dia akan change partner dengan negatif ni pula. So what should you do? Darab bersilang sahaja. Macam mana nak darab bersilang? Okay, H dengan H plus kan? Okay, H plus dengan hidroksida ion darab bersilang jadi H2O. Sodium chloride Na plus dengan Cl minus 1 darab bersilang NaCl. That is how you got the chemical formula for the salt. So you just write down NaCl plus H2O. Okay, boleh? Can we proceed? Okay, good. The next one, example. The next example would be sulfuric acid with copper 2 oxide. So you know this one is acid and this one is base. So we should already know that when acid react with base, what should we get? The product? Yes, salt and water. You already know this one. Now we will just have to write down the name. Okay, let's say sulfuric acid and copper 2 oxide. So sulfuric acid punya formula is H2SO4. This one you should already know and memorize lah. Okay, copper oxide, dia bagi tahu copper 2 oxide. If you don't know the formula, so you know the copper 2 is copper 2 plus, oxide is O2 minus. 2 and 2, and then you cross multiply, you will get CuO. So the base is CuO. Okay, how about the salt? How can we know the formula for the salt? Kita darab bersilang balik. Okay, we identify. This one is H plus, this one is SO4 2 minus. That is why it is important for you guys to memorize the ions. Okay, this one is Cu2 plus, this one is O2 minus. So remember, plus suka dekat minus. Okay, so this plus, dia tak nak dah kawan dengan this minus, dia ambil this minus. Okay, well this minus tak nak kawan dengan H dah, dia nak kawan dengan plus yang lain. And then kita cross multiply. So macam ni kita nak cross multiply, kita ambil Cu2 plus, this one, dengan dah tukar partner sekarang, SO4 2 minus. So 2 darab bersilang, bila dia sama kita terus pangkah jadi CuSO4. Copper 2 sulfate. The next H plus and O2 minus, we get H2O lah, because we already know it is water. Alamak. Okay, that is how you got the chemical equation. Boleh faham? Okay, that is how to write the chemical formula. How about how to write the product? Okay, kita ambil lah dia punya nama, sulfuric acid dengan copper oxide. So dia punya product is copper sulfate, copper 2 sulfate, while the other one is water. Okay, let's see exercise 1. Nitric acid with calcium hydroxide. Nitric acid with calcium hydroxide. Okay, we already know this one is acid and calcium hydroxide is a base. So you should know that acid plus base, we will get what? Okay, good. Salt and water. Now we have to identify the name. So acid tadi name dia adalah nitric acid. Base adalah calcium hydroxide. Okay. Water lah. Okay, what is the name of the salt? Can you guess the name of the salt? Yes, calcium nitrate. Calcium nitrate. Okay, daripada situ saja kita boleh tahu. Now, kita kena tengok dia punya chemical formula. How can we write the chemical formula? Nak tu. Kejap Wait. Where is it? 20 seconds.
Mana boleh pergi? Abang nak tunjuk je. Nanti Syah dia kelah abang dapat pergi ke.
Sutun.
Sebab tu
Sutun goreng.
sambal. Macam mana? Tetap kelah kan?
Tanya akak tu. Lah. Okay. Now we will kita tengok how can we write the chemical formula. Okay, nitric acid. What is the formula for nitric acid? You should know by now. H. Good. HNO3. Okay, calcium hydroxide. Kalau katalah we don't know. So calcium, tengok balik. Calcium is Ca2+, hydroxide OH-. Okay. Darab bersilang dapat are you sure CaOH? Ca kurungan OH tu. See, Ca darab 1, so Ca. OH ni kena darab dengan 2. So, kurungkan OH, letak 2 di tepi. So, the calcium hydroxide punya formula is CaOH2. Okay, now, water, H2O lah. Terus tulis H2O. How about calcium nitrate? So, kita tengok kat sini. Calcium, we already know calcium is Ca2+. Nitrate, nitrate punya ions, NO3 minus. Good. Now kita darab bersilang sahajalah. Ca2+, NO3 minus. C bawa turun 2, Ca bawa turun 2, NO bawa turun 1. Ca darab 1 dapat Ca. NO3 darab 2 jadi kurung NO3 darab 2. So the formula for calcium nitrate is Ca NO3 2. Boleh? We already go through this kan before? Boleh ingat lagi? Alright, good. You should be able tengok benda ni, the things that we have learned before, okay, it will keep on digunakan lagi for the next of the topics, okay. It is very important. So if you still have problem with chemical formula and chemical equation, please do some more practice or ask me or do something, okay, so that you are familiar, so that you can write the chemical equation and chemical formula easily after this. Alright, so next one, okay, bila dah tulis dia punya formula, we also have to balance the formula. So this one tadi kita tukar colour tak nampak nanti. Right, H ada 1, NO3 ada 1, Ca ada 1, OH ada 2. This one Ca ada 1, NO3 ada 2. Sini H ada 2, O ada 1. So how can we balance? So 2N, 2NO3. So kita letak 2 di depan. Okay. So we have 2H, 2NO3, 1Ca, 2OH. 1Ca betul, 2NO3 betul, 2H, 1 je O. Sini ada 2O. So we will have to balance kan. So 2O, 2H, 2O, 2H dekat sini, another 2H dekat sini, so 4H dekat sini. So dah balance. Okay? Boleh? Okay. Next one. Exercise number 2. Hydrochloric acid and zinc oxide. So acid plus base, you should get salt and water. Okay, now the chemical equation. Hydrochloric acid HCl. Zinc oxide, kalau tak tahu tulis dekat tepi dia punya ion. Zn2 plus, O2 minus. Oh, the same. The ions are the same, 2, 2. So, terus ZnO. Next one, the product will be zinc chloride. So, zinc chloride, macam mana dia punya formula? Zn2 plus, chloride Cl minus. Okay. Buat turun dia punya charge 2, this one charge 1. Zn darab 1 dapat Zn. Cl darab 2, Cl2. And water, H2O. And then masukkan dalam equation. Okay. Cuma dia tak balance because Cl now here dah ada 2. So we have to write down 2 here. And then H pun ada 2. This one H ada 2. Then it's balanced. Done. If you have question, just ask, okay? I have to make this lesson faster a little bit. So that is one. Acid can react with base to produce salt and water. Okay, the next one, the second chemical properties for acid is acid can also react with metal. Okay, cuma ada syarat. This metal need to be more electropositive than H, than hydrogen. You already learn about the electropositivity of metals, right? Right? Yes. So every metals that are above hydrogen is more electropositive than hydrogen and can react with acid. How about metals that below hydrogen? Can they react with acid? No, yes, they cannot react with acid because they are less electropositive than H. Okay, let us recap. What is the electropositive? Can you name? Can you read the name of the electropositivity series? Potassium, right? Next. Na, sodium. And then? C what? Calcium. Ca, good. Okay. Okay, good. Are you sure PB? Terus? Betul kan? And then H, right?
Yes.
Then? Okay, good. Another one?
Ag.
Good. Okay. So everything above hydrogen metal can react with acid. Meaning, kalau kita ambil hydrochloric acid can react with potassium. Hydrochloric acid can react with sodium. Hydrochloric acid can react with calcium. Hydrochloric acid can react with magnesium. Hydrochloric acid can react with zinc. But hydrochloric acid cannot react with copper. Hydrochloric acid cannot react with silver. Metal. Okay, tengok balik atas. Tengok balik atas tadi. This one is acid react with base. This one is copper oxide, bukan copper sorang-sorang. Dia copper oxide. This one is metal. Bila dia dah jadi copper to oxide, dia dah jadi base. Can you see the difference?
Yes.
Okay, so you cannot get confused. If the acid nak react dengan copper sahaja, copper metal, they cannot react with each other because copper is less electropositive than hydrogen. But if the acid nak juga react dengan copper, okay, dia kena react with copper something, copper compound. Okay, let's say contohnya base lah, copper to oxide. Copper tu mesti dah jadi benda lain, bukan copper metal sahaja. Boleh faham? Okay, good. Oh, sorry. Alright, so example. Hydrochloric acid and magnesium. Okay, sama juga. You have to know the product. Okay, dia boleh react dengan apa and the product, and you have to know how to write down the chemical equation. So acid and metal will produce salt as well, and hydrogen gas. Okay, kalau tadi acid with base will produce salt and water. This time bila acid react with metal, it produce salt and hydrogen gas. Okay. So, let's say we have hydrochloric acid react with magnesium. So, macam mana kita nak tahu what is the salt? Sama juga macam tadi, the key is just change their partner. Change their partner. Mana tadi? Okay. Just change their partner. Sebelum ni, H yang kawan dengan Cl. Now, Mg yang kawan dengan Cl. So, the name of the salt will be magnesium chloride. So what happen with the H? Dia akan jadi hydrogen gas. Nampak? Can you see the relation? Boleh nampak tak? Okay, so itu cara untuk kita tahu, cara untuk awak dapatkan the name of the salt. Okay, tukar je. Magnesium chloride. So yang H tinggal seorang-seorang jadi hydrogen gas. Now, kita nak tulis dia punya chemical formula. Hydrochloric acid you should know by now, HCl. Magnesium is Mg lah, tak ada kiri, tak ada charge apa-apa because this is metal. Okay, so bila kita nak kahwinkan dia, baru dia kena jadi ions. So Mg ion, Mg2 plus, chloride ion, Cl minus. So this one is 2, this one charge is 1. Mg darab 1 is Mg, Cl darab 2. Cl2, Cl2. Okay, so this is the chemical formula for magnesium chloride. How about hydrogen gas? What is the chemical formula for hydrogen gas? Hydrogen gas? Yes, H2. H plus is ion. Yang mana the plus and minus is ions. Okay. Hydrogen gas is a molecule. So H2. So bila kita dah tulis macam tu, we have to make sure that it is balanced. So Cl ada 2. So we have to write Cl in front. Kita kena letak 2 in front. And then H pun dah ada 2 here. And then we have 2H here. So dah balance. Okay. Next one, ethanoic acid with zinc. So bila zinc, so we know that it is metal. So acid plus metal, we will have good, salt and hydrogen gas. Okay. So ethanoic acid with zinc. Can you name the salt? Can you name the salt? Can you name the salt? Zinc? Yes, zinc ethanoate. Okay. Zinc ethanoate and hydrogen gas. Ethanoic acid CH3COOH, zinc is Zn, metal tak ada apa-apa dia seorang-seorang Zn. Salt will be Zn2 plus, dengan CH3COO minus. So this one is 2, this one is 1, Zn darab 1, Zn, CH3COO darab 2. Semua kurungkan. CH3COO kurung 2. So that is the chemical formula for zinc ethanoate. Okay. So you will get zinc ethanoate and hydrogen gas. So as usual, okay, ni awak boleh tulis depan dan belakang, cuma lagi selalu kita tulis zinc kat depan lah. Ni tak berapa betul ni, zinc kat depan. Okay, now kita kena pastikan dia balance. So H dah ada 2 sekarang. Sini H baru 1. So letak 2 di hadapan. CH3COO ada 2 juga. So bila dah ada 2 di depan, CH3COO pun ada 2, H pun ada 2. Dah balance. Okay. Any questions? Any question? No. Okay. So this one is preparations to procedure. Macam mana cara untuk kita reactkan acid and base. Okay. This part is actually how to prepare salt crystal. We will go through this procedure again later. Okay, waktu topik salt at the end of this chapter nanti. But the simple procedure would be this one. Macam mana cara untuk kita reactkan acid and metal. So the first thing is you should pour 2 cm³ of teacher record. Nanti I will upload the recorded class as well. Okay, no worries. So pour 2 cm³ of hydrochloric acid into a test tube. Okay, now kita tak guna yang ni lah. We don't use this picture. Okay, this is the simple one, the simpler one. Okay, so we just use a test tube and you pour 2 cm³ of hydrochloric acid. Okay, next, what should we do? We will add zinc powder. Metal selalunya in solid form. So you add zinc powder. Add zinc powder into the test tube and then you shake the test tube. Next one, we know that metal, when we react with acid, we will have hydrogen gas and salt. So we should collect this hydrogen gas as well. So collect the gas produced into a test tube. Maksudnya we have another test tube here to collect the gas. And then what should we do? How can we test the gas produced is hydrogen gas? This is the test. We will use burning wooden splinter. Okay, so when we put burning wooden splinter into a test tube that contain hydrogen gas, what will we observe? Pop sound will heard. When we know that the pop sound heard, that means that the gas is hydrogen gas. Okay, boleh? Boleh. Okay, bila boleh saya terus. Bila tak boleh. Right, good. Next one, sulfuric acid with ion. Okay, sulfuric acid with ion. This is acid. This is acid. Oh my god, why? Oh, bateri nak habis. Kejap 10 seconds. Mana charger dia? Ni.
Kalau nak tu.
Ni.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Oh, lain tak nak.
Bila cas tak boleh guna Abang? Bila cas tak boleh guna
Tak tahu. Boleh pun.
Oh, boleh, okay. Alright. So sulfuric acid is acid and then iron is metal. So acid plus metal, we will have salt and hydrogen gas. So now, what is the name of the salt? What is the name of the salt? Can you guess? Yes, good. Iron sulfate. Tukar sahaja partner dia. Iron sulfate. Good. Okay. Iron sulfate and hydrogen gas. Now we will have to write down the chemical equation. So sulfuric acid is H2SO4. Iron is Fe. Kemudian hydrogen gas is H2. We already know three things dah, three chemical formula dah. Now we will just have to find the chemical formula for the salt. So this one Fe is cation. Okay, H is cation, hydrogen is cation, sulfate is anion. So iron ni nak kawan dengan sulfate pula. So iron Fe2 plus, sulfate SO4 2 minus. Okay, the charge is the same, so we can just cancel. So the formula is FeSO4. And then balance the equation. If the equation is already balanced, H2, Fe ada 1, SO4 ada 1, then it's already balanced and it is done. Okay? Yes. Next. Alright, the third one. The third chemical properties for acid is acid can also react with metal carbonate. Tadi metal saja, this one is metal carbonate. Metal carbonate is actually metal that react with that sebenarnya metal yang ada carbonate dekat belakang. Contoh kalau tadi zinc. Now metal carbonate dia adalah zinc carbonate. Okay, kalau metal dia magnesium, metal carbonate adalah magnesium carbonate. So tambah carbonate jadi belakang. So anything with carbonate di belakang, metal carbonate, they can react with acid. And the product is salt, water juga, but we have another product iaitu carbon dioxide sebab dah ada carbonate dekat belakang. Okay, so kita ada 3 products. So acid, when they react with metal carbonate, we will get salt, carbon dioxide and water. So let's say the hydrochloric acid is our acid with copper carbonate. So bila kita baca nama dia copper carbonate, we know that it is a metal carbonate. Okay, so when acid react with metal carbonate, we will get 3 product. The product will be carbon dioxide gas, water and salt. So salt ni yang kita kena tahu nama dia. So how can we know the name of the salt? Copper Cu carbonate and hydrochloric acid. Sama juga kita change partner. Okay, kalau carbon dioxide dah ambil yang ni, water dah ambil yang ni, so yang tinggal adalah CuCl. So the salt will be copper chloride. Okay, so the product will be copper to chloride salt, carbon dioxide and water. And then you write down the chemical equation. Sama juga, exactly the same macam tadi. Okay, and then dapatlah chemical equation and balancekan dia. Balancekan. Example number 2, nitric acid with lead carbonate. Okay, nitric acid bila campur dengan metal carbonate, we will get salt salt, carbon dioxide gas and hydrogen gas. And water. So carbon dioxide dengan water dah tahu dia punya formula. Nitric acid HNO3, lead 2 carbonate P. Okay, kalau tak tahu buat kat tepi. Lead 2 carbonate, where is it? Pb2 plus CO3 2 minus. Sama, tulis saja PbCO3. So lead 2 carbonate is PbCO3. Okay, so the salt will be lead nitrate. So lead Pb2 plus, nitrate NO3 minus. 2, 1. Pb darab 1, Pb NO3 darab 2, NO3 2. And then masukkan dalam equation and then you balance the equation. Can you give me 10 seconds? Sorry, 10 seconds. Abang. 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 Sayang. Nak habis dah sikit je. Ada. Unicorn, please.
Helium.
Kena letakkan balik benda tu. Letakkan balik benda tu kat ni. Alright, thank you. Sekejap nak habis dah.
Dah cabut.
Okay. Okay. Next one, chemical equation. Tadi dah dapat dia punya formula for the salt. You already know the formula for carbon dioxide and water. Formula for acid and formula for metal carbonate. You just make sure that it is balanced. Okay, how to balance? Our last lessons hari tu. Our lessons couple of months back before. If you still don't know how to balance, please revise it back. Tolong tengok balik. And if you have any questions, you can ask me, okay? But make sure that you know. Okay, this will keep on reappearing. Chemical equation will still appear in the next topic. So you should know how to write down chemical equation and how to balance it. So make sure you use this time to catch up for chemical equation and balancing. Alright, so this is a question that usually asked about acid plus metal carbonate, iaitu cara untuk test the presence of carbon dioxide gas. Kalau tadi the presence of hydrogen gas, we use burning wooden splinter, we insert into a test tube and the pop sound will be heard. Okay, for this one, how are we going to react metal carbonate with acid? So first we pour 2 cm cube of hydrochloric acid into a test tube and then we add copper 2 carbonate powder. Okay, and then how are we going to collect? And then we put a delivery tube. This is called delivery tube. We put a delivery tube with a stopper quickly so that the product will, the gas product can be transferred from this test tube to another test tube. Okay, we already know that in order for us to test carbon dioxide gas, we will use lime water. So we make sure that the delivery tube are inserted into a test tube that contain lime water, and we should make sure that the delivery tube is immersed into the lime water, so that bila the carbon dioxide keluar, dia boleh terus masuk dalam lime water. What will happen to the lime water? The lime water will turn cloudy ataupun chalky. So this is how we react metal carbonate with acid. So pour acid into a test tube and then you add a copper 2 super 2 carbonate powder. Collect the gas release into a test tube, this one, and then pass through the gas release into a test tube contain lime water. The gas bubble will release. The gas bubble release awak akan nampak dekat sini, gas bubble release. And then the gas will transfer into another test tube and this lime water will turn cloudy. Okay, this one is the confirmatory test. The gas turn lime water to cloudy. So when the lime water turns cloudy, we will know that the gas produced is carbon dioxide. Okay. Right. Last. Sulfuric acid with zinc carbonate. Can you name the salt? Good. Zinc sulfate. Bagus. Okay. Zinc sulfate. So sulfuric acid H2SO4. Zinc carbonate ZnCO3. How do I know? Because I already done this before. So I know the formula is zinc NCO3. If you don't know, start daripada awal. Zn 2 plus, carbonate ion CO3 2 minus. Sama. So terus ZnCO3. You will get formula ZnCO3. And then the product will be salt, carbon dioxide and water. So how can we find the formula for the salt? Zinc sulfate. Ambil lah zinc ion and sulfate ion. Dua-dua charge, bawa charge 2, sama, potong terus. So ZnSO4. Then write it down properly dalam chemical equation. There. And then check whether it's balanced or not. If it's balanced, then you are done. Okay. And then this one, last one, hydrochloric acid with magnesium carbonate. Okay, dapat je carbonate, metal carbonate. So the product will be 3. Okay, salt, iaitu magnesium chloride salt, carbon dioxide and gas. And then you write down the chemical equation. So that is all that you need to know. Okay, in chemical properties of acid. So if we recap, chemical properties of acid. There are 3 chemical properties of acid. So write down macam ni. Okay, so semua mesti acid, acid, acid. The first one, acid can react with base, and the product will be salt and water. Next one, acid can react with metal, but this metal needs to be, ada syarat dia, more electropositive than hydrogen. Okay, and you will get 2 product as well, iaitu good, salt and hydrogen gas. Okay, next one, last one is acid plus good, metal carbonate. This one we will have 3 product, iaitu salt, water and gas, carbon dioxide gas. Carbon dioxide gas. Okay, selain daripada this one, you should know how to write the chemical equation. Chemical equation. Chemical equation. Balance, okay? Balance chemical equation. Balance chemical equation. Balance chemical equation. You should know that water punya formula is H2O, hydrogen gas is H2, water H2O, carbon dioxide gas CO2. So, apa je yang awak kena cari? And then acid punya formula, awak dah tahu dah, HCl, HNO3, H2SO4, CH3, COOH. Ini je selalu acid yang keluar. Especially these 3. So, dah boleh ingat dah acid punya formula. So, apa je yang awak kena cari formula? Formula salt. You just have to know the name and formula for salt. Okay. Formula for base, awak boleh cari juga. Formula for metal paling senang. Formula for metal carbonate, reactkan sahaja awak punya metal dengan carbonate ion. Okay, so you should know how to write the balance chemical equation. Next, you should know how to test for hydrogen gas. You should also know how to test for carbon dioxide gas. Hydrogen gas, we use burning wooden splinter. Carbon dioxide gas, we use what to test for carbon dioxide gas? No, baru tadi kita guna untuk test carbon dioxide gas. Lime water. Okay, so that is all that you should know. Okay, next one is procedure yang saya dah bagi tahu tadi. Procedure, the simple procedure. This one is also procedure. So recap, what should you know? What should you be able to do after this lesson? After this lesson, the first one you should know, know the chemical properties of acid. Acid react with base, can get salt and water. Acid react with metal, we will produce salt and hydrogen gas. Acid react with metal carbonate, will produce salt, water and carbon dioxide. Second, you should know how to write down the balanced chemical equation for all the chemical properties of the acid. Third, you should know how to write a simple procedure on how to how to react acid and metal. Fourth, you should know how to test for hydrogen gas. Fifth, you should also know how to test for carbon dioxide gas. That is all that you should know. Okay, most of it is chemical equation part lah, balanced chemical equation parts. So in order for you to practice for chemical equation parts, you will need to do complete the chemical equation in page 141, 142 and 143 of your module after this class, and you need to submit it in your Google Classroom. I've already made an assignment for it. Okay? So do you have any question before we end our class here?
No.
No. Okay. If you left something out along the class, okay, I will upload this recorded class in a YouTube and give you in the YouTube, and I will give you the link after this, and you can always revise it back. And please, I'm reminding you again that chemical formula, you should be able to write chemical formula and chemical equation quickly dah sekarang. If you still having problem, please don't stop there. Please try to do something, okay, or at least try to do the your module, chapter 3 module. Okay, buat sikit-sikit pun tak apa. If you have any question, you can always ask me. Tangkap gambar dalam modul tu, tanya how to do this, how to do this. You should be able to work on your own dah untuk bahagian ni, because this one dia adalah lesson yang dah lepas. So bila lesson dah lepas, I won't be able to repeat it again and again setiap kali dia keluar. So setiap kali chemical equation keluar, saya kena repeat balik nanti, or it will take a longer time. Okay, I won't be able to do that. Okay, so you should be able to make sure that you know how to write chemical equation and balance chemical equation. Okay, so please practice it yourself. If you have any trouble, you can always ask me. Okay, so if you don't have any more questions now, this is where our class ends. Please write down your name in the chat box, Google chat box, and you may leave this Google Meet. Don't forget to do your exercise that I have given in Google Classroom. Oh sorry, you have two things. One is homework and another one is exercise. Exercise is in your module page 141 until 143. Your homework is to take a picture of the discuss module tadi yang kita dah discuss earlier in the class. Please take a picture of it and upload it in your Google Classroom as well. Okay, if you don't have any more questions, I will see you again next week. Thank you very much. You may leave. Welcome.